Very good morning to everyone. So, am I audible to you all correctly? Just raise your hands. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sachin. So, we'll just wait for 2 to 3 minutes, not more than 2 minutes. Let the attendees get joined. We are going to start up with our session. So, yes. So, let me share my screen with you all. Okay. So, who all are new attendees today? I'll just take 2 to 3 minutes to give an intro to our Logic Labs technologies. Okay. So, first of all, to the new attendees, I would like to welcome you all to the Logic Labs technologies. We are into the batch of RHCSA, that is Red Hat Certified System Administrator. Okay, my name is Sonika. I'll be your trainer. Introducing myself, I'm working as a Linux system administrator into one of the organization, and also I have written multiple technical content. I'm also an technical content writer. So our course duration will be of 4 weeks. Okay, Monday to Friday. The session will be from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. IST, that is Indian Standard Timing. Those who all are out of country, they can just convert those timing to as per your country. Okay, the course fees will be 5900. So, for if you have any doubts related to the batch that has been commenced yesterday, that is yesterday it was the day 1 session. Today is the day 2 session. You can please get connected to us on this on this contact number, as well as we have our email address, that is support@logiclabstech.com. Okay. So I would like to tell you that the first 5 sessions will be free to all the attendees. Okay. And the sixth session of the from the sixth session, the Zoom meeting link will be shared to the paid registered participants only. As we are into day 2 session, day 3, day 4, day 5 session will be free to all of you attendees. Okay. From day 6 session, those who will be the paid registered participants, they can get connected to me onto my batch, to the link that is provided to them on their registered email address. Okay. For session updates, you need to get connected to the WhatsApp community group. And I would like to share this link with you all. So this is WhatsApp community group where you will get the daily updates regarding the batch 258. Okay, 258 is our batch number, so it would be easier for us to get to know that to which batch you're registered with. And all the session recordings and the notes will be accessed through the LMS graphic. Once you will get registered to us, you will get the access of your own dashboard. Onto that dashboard, you will get all the recordings as well as the notes that I'm going to upload you after each and every session over there. And these recordings, those don't have any limit, like 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. It is unlimited, means you can access it throughout your entire. Uh, there is no limitation. It is accessible to you um, throughout your life, or you can say it is. There is no interruption. Okay, to get access to you people to the recordings. Once once you get your own dashboard access, thus the only thing is you have to keep your email address and the password with you so that you can access it anytime from anywhere. Okay, so our Logiclass support team is available from Monday to Saturday. You can get connected to us from 9 to 7 a.m. Okay, so this was a small intro about the Logic Labs technologies, and the rest of the thing related to the course content. I'm going to share you with the day 1 recording session, which was of yesterday. Okay. So to all the new participants, I would like to tell you that please attend this day 1 recording, where you will get all the detailed information about the course details and whatever PDFs that I'm going to provide you after each and every session. Okay. I have designed from basic to advanced the course and the syllab and the PDFs to you all. Each and every command is involved into the PDF. with its explanation. So that whenever you need to recall your commands, you can go through the PDFs, as well as at the time of your practicals, performing any of the practicals, it will be easier for you to do it without any interruption. Okay. So I have shared the course. Excuse me. So I have shared you day one recording session that is being available onto the YouTube channel. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as the course registration link is provided and the payment link is provided. Okay. So you will get all the PDFs. These all PDFs after each and every session that is being completed to you day wise. Okay, is that clear to all new attendees? Who all are new attendees, can you please just raise your hand today? Okay, that's great, Prashant. So you can just go, Levis. Okay, that's great. So please go through day one session where you will get clarified with the course content, as well as the PDFs that will be available for you people after each session. So yes, thank you. Thank you to yesterday's attending to giving me a time of 10 minutes to explain this to all the new attendees. So let us start with our today's day 2 batch. Okay. So let me start with our first topic, that is overview of the Linux operating system. So most of you people will be knowing what is Linux operating system. But today you are going to know how important it is, or into which all organizations the Linux with multiple distros are used. First of all, okay, let me start sequentially. What is a Linux operating system? So first of all, a Linux operating system is an open source operating system. Open source in the sense the source code of the operating system that is open to everyone. First of all, operating system is a huge software, right? It is a high-end software that communicates with the hardware and allows the other program to run on it, right? And this source code is open to everyone, that is open to all of the developers. So if they want to update or they want to develop any of the updations to this OS, they can develop the source code and they can redistribute into the market. So what the Linux operating system has many distributions in it. You would have heard about CentOS, AMLA Linux, Alma Linux. After that, Debian 11. You would have learned multiple, like Ubuntu. Ubuntu is also available into the desktop and server versions. Okay, these all are the Linux distros. Means the basic, whatever the base of the Linux is the same to everyone, but whatever modifications or the new releases they are carried out with these distros. Okay, so the Linux OS was developed by the Linus Torvalds. Who developed this OS? Linus Torvalds. In what case? To improvise the Unix. Multiple people might be knowing Unix. Lewis, am I audible to every one of you? Okay. Okay, that's great. Lewis, can you check by your end? it might be at your end some of the audio issue, because everyone are able to hear me. Okay, that's great, Lewis. Okay. It might be some ISP issue. Okay, if any interruptions, you can just keep me into a message. Okay, that will update me. So I will repeat once again from um the third point, that is the Linux was developed by the Linus Torvalds. Okay, actually, why he developed this? To improvise the Unix. You people might be knowing Unix. Unix was the first operating system which was tried to improvise, and then the Linux OS was developed. One important thing is Unix operating systems like AIX, the BI powered dedicated BI powered servers or whatever, they use only the AIX operating system, which are paid versions. Okay, how Windows, Mac, we need to pay for the operating system. Same, the Unix has also to be paid. But Linux, it might be any of the distros. Linux operating system is free of cost. Okay, even Red Hat Enterprise Linux is also free of cost. You can configure multiple servers onto it, and you can launch your servers into the you can launch your servers to enhance your business digitally. Okay, and okay, as of now, just remember, because see, whenever as it is free of cost, the only need we do is to get registered to the redhat.com, where we'll create an account. That will be our upcoming chapter, how we should get connected to the or get subscribed to the Red Hat account. So from where we can enable to install the multiple packages to configure our servers. Okay, that will be our. So this is the thing, that to create a Red Hat account and to activate the subscription manager. Okay, this might be into day 10 session, where we'll be learning about the installing and updating of the software packages. Before moving to this, we are going to get connected to the Red Hat Manager. Okay, so the most important thing of the Linux operating system is it is open source code, and secondly, it is free of cost. So see, who all are there, who all are managing their servers. It might be related to their website hostings, or related to any of the database servers or the file management server, whatever it might be, whatever requirement it might be. Most probably the organizations or the big companies, they they are likely to switch to the Linux operating system. First of all, it doesn't need more hardware requirement, as the entire Linux server is managed onto the CLI mode. Okay, it doesn't need much load, as well as it doesn't takes much load onto the server, as it needs low configuration for CLI modes to manage it. Okay, the only thing it needs is the hard disk, which can hold the large number of database onto it. Okay, into upcoming sessions, it will become more easier for you to understand how important it is, and how smoothly and how robust and fast the Linux operating system is. As in Windows, it is totally on GUI mode. Even we have data center cores and then CLI mode Windows Server. Due to the security reason, the important reason is security. Each and everything in Linux, every time I tell you, each and everything in Linux is a file. So whenever you log in, first of all, you should, being a normal user, whenever you log in to the Linux operating system or the Linux server, that time you have certain limitations set onto you being a normal user. So to access a single file or a directory as well, you need to have the permission. So what, it is highly secured and there are less chances of the vulnerability. Okay, so let us see why Linux operating system, why multiple organizations use Linux operating system. It is an open source operating system. Anyone can run, study, modify, and redistribute the source code. The same that I have explained you already. They can run the source code, they can study it, they can modify it, and they can redistribute. Okay. High stability. Why high stability? Because there is no any GUI based on this Linux OS where it will, okay, it is a very stable and does not lead to crashes. It runs fastly as it was installed at the first time. Why? Because it doesn't has the GUI load. It only and only works onto the services that are configured onto it, and it is very much stable and smooth running even after multiple years of server that we are using due to its CLI based. Okay. Next, third point comes the security. It is a dependable server that offers high security to the users. Using Linux on your system is easy to avoid viruses and malware. The attacker cannot make any changes in the system until the user is logged in as the root user. Yes, as I explained you, only and only the super user. So who is the super user into the Linux? Root. Until we are accessed or we are logged in as a root user, we cannot have the access to entire operating system, that is entire files, entire directories, and entire commands to operate onto the operating system. So what, it is highly secure. So secure it is, as I explained you prior, being a normal user, it's highly difficult to access even a single file due to the limitations or the permissions set to that particular file and the directory. And even being a normal user, he cannot run any of the important commands that are with the limitations set on it. Okay, so who is the super user into our Linux? Root user. Okay, so what, it is highly secure, easy to operate. Linux is easy to operate and we can install it easily onto variants of Linux, have their own software repositories. Okay, have their own software repositories means Red Hat have their own software repositories, like Yum is there, RPM is there. Prior, Red Hat used to use the RPM repositories, but now it is the updated version with the Yum repositories. Okay, what are those? We are going to learn into our further sessions. You can update the system periodically with just few clicks, and you can set automatic updation as well. Once we get registered with our subscription manager onto the Red Hat, we can easily update and upgrade our operating system as well as the softwares and the services that we have installed onto our server. Okay. Next is the hardware compatibility. Linux can use on any hardware. It doesn't have any hardware restriction. It uses efficiently all the system resources. Okay. The hardware requirement is not much. At the low hardware requirement also, you can configure your server. Okay. Depending upon your requirements, some high-end hardwares can be configured to your. Okay. Open source. The source code is available as it is under free and open source software, that is FOSS, that is free and open source software. There are multiple companies who provide us the servers onto rent. When the organization will get an easy access to the servers through those companies who are the providers of the servers on the rent. Okay, so they will get wholly configured servers to them remotely where they can manage their websites as well as whatever databases, file servers they needed to be configured. So multiple business people or the organizations are moving with the CLI mode, that is the Linux based operating system servers. The only thing you need to pay for the hardware that is being configured. Okay, budget. It's related to the budget. So where is Linux operating system used? NASA centers, healthcare, commercial uses for running the applications, server OS. Server OS is for the web servers. We can configure web servers, database servers, file servers, email servers. Emailing systems are there, right? Some tries to manage the file servers, some needs the database server where they can store the database of their clients or employees or whatever the organization needs the data to be kept into the server. Web servers, those are to host their websites, where the websites will be launched onto the server and it will be accessible publicly to from the entire world to the entire end users. Okay, and any of the other type of shared services. Shared services servers means there are also cloud providers available into the market, that is AWS, Azure of the Microsoft, and as well as the cloud computing from Google. Okay, they provide the shared hosting, right? We can go there, we can create the EC2 instance, and then we can start using our Linux server. Okay, those are the shared hostings. Individually, also we can rent the servers, and as well as we keep the shared servers onto the cloud platform. Okay, which has made very easier for all the organizations or the high-end business owners to maintain their digital business work up and running. So who is behind this to manage all the entire servers or to manage the businesses? Those are up and running, we people. We are the system administrators who are going to monitor and manage these servers to our client. Okay, so Linux is well suited for all types of server application. Everything, all types of server applications can be installed, configured onto our Linux server. The last comes the very important is financial institutes. Financial institute means banking sector. Most probably RBI or the banks, those are there. Those all are based on Unix and Linux operating system only due to its security, as I have explained due on the prior slides, as well as it is running smoothly. It is robust and it is fast as it is installed today. Okay, even after multiple years. Because see, once we configure our server, they will be continued for the future sake for 5, 10 years, most probably 20 years, right? We'll be keep running our servers as we are all now digitalized, right? So NASA centers, healthcares, even healthcares maintain their databases onto the Linux servers. Okay. So these were the points where all the Linux operating systems are used and how important it is. So all are referring with the Linux based servers. So why you should learn about the Linux and what is the system, what is the system administrator and what is the role being a sysadmin. As multiple people are already working, they might be knowing and they are already onto their duties to manage the organization or the servers to keep it up and running. Okay, as it is on a high usage in many sectors, system administrator are like a tech generalist. They handle many different things to keep the organization up and running. A system administrator, or you can say as a sysadmins, are the unsung heroes of the organization because you will be always there to monitor and manage the server at your end. If any of the error occurs, you are the one who are going to troubleshoot it within a time and make it again up and running, right? They work in the background to make sure that the company's IT infrastructure, we people will be working to the to the company's IT infrastructure, right? Where it will always be up and working, constantly fighting with the IT disasters that is happening, and as well as taking care or taking precautions that there should not be any interruptions or there should not be any crashings of the system, because we are going to monitor the CPU usage, RAM usage, disk usage of these servers, because everything has a limitation. If the server takes any of the load, then we are going to inform the client and try to restart or try to end up any of the tasks related where the CPU utilization or the load average will get lower, because we should take care that the system or the server should not get crashed. In the upcoming sessions, onto each and every session, topic wise, whatever it might be, at each and every time, if I think this is the troubleshooting part, I will explain you that in this way you can troubleshoot your server if any of the issue occurs. Next, why Linux is more secure. Okay, why it is secure. We have came to know why it is secure. Now we are going to see some points related. Perk of accounts. Linux allows, excuse me, sorry for the interruption. So, perk of accounts. Linux allows only few users to access the system, as I explained you earlier as well. Thus, the virus cannot attack the whole system. It may cause a few files into the system. There are many limitations set being a normal user. So, when you are logged in as a normal user, you cannot access the uh, entire operating system, or even if you want to access any of the file, there are certain permissions set onto that file. So the virus cannot attack the whole system and there are low chances of vulnerability. Okay. Strong community. Linux users first accomplish the files before they open, so they can save their system from vulnerabilities. We have to cross each and every file to enter into our particular destination. Remember one point, it is a key point that everything in a Linux is a file. Until and unless you access the file, you cannot go through any of the thing that you want to reach, or
the directories which contains the multiple files. So the system is saved from being vulnerable. Okay. Firewall and IP tables. Firewall are used by the Linux because it checks the security circle of the system. First, we used to call it as IP tables. Prior versions from RHEL 7. We had we used to use the word IP table. Even the command was IP tables. Now, after RHEL 7 version, we people are using firewall. The same, the duties are the same. The only word is changed. That's it. Okay. And some more updations are available. That's it. Firewall is there with the firewall D command. Okay. So firewall are used by the Linux because it checks the security circle of the system. It gives a 2FA. Okay. 2FA for our Linux, and even for each and every file and the directory into the Linux operating system, where the attacker cannot attack our server very easily. Due to this, firewall set onto it. Different working environments. Linux system has different working environments like Linux Mint, Debian, Arch, and many more. These working environment protect you from the virus. Even these all are the Linux distros. It has the same basics of the Linux onto it. Recording in Linux. It maintains the log history because later it can be viewed with the details of the system files very easily. It maintains each and every log. Even if I'll fire any of the single command, the log will be generated related to its service. Okay. If the server comes with multiple services and we need to check the logs related to that particular server because some error is causing, some issue is causing, that time you can go through the log history where you can easily troubleshoot that what error has been caused due to what reason. Okay. Into upcoming sessions when we'll be learning analyzing and monitoring, analyzing and storing of logs. In this chapter, you're going to learn how to troubleshoot the log files and how to read any of the logs that are required at any of your requirement or troubleshooting time. Okay. Linux has very few users. Linux users are less compared to others due to this security is more. Easily, easily servers cannot you cannot operate it. Each and every command it should be onto your tip of your tongue. Then and then only you can enter or access the whole operating system or manage the whole server by your end. So these kind of users are very less who have the sound knowledge of the CLI, okay, of the commands. So what? So this is also a reason where these servers are more secure. A normal user cannot come and operate your operating system or the server. How see in Windows anyone can come click check our database. Here it's bit difficult to access it due to its command line oriented. So next is the Linux distros. So multiple Linux distros are there. Linux Mint is there, Debian is there, Ubuntu, OpenSUSE, Manjaro. They have their own specialities. Like it is stable and robust. Linux Mint uses the Mate desktop and Cinnamon. Debian it stands for robustness, ability and a well-oiled release cycle. It is user friendly. Ubuntu, it is available for both desktop and server edition and is based on Debian. It is good for choice for new users and existing users. It gives a pleasant experience for new and experienced users. I have given you single points where it's minor, means the basic of the Linux will be same to all of these, right? Once you learn this Linux operating system, easily you can handle multiple distros that are available. The only difference it might come with the package manager and the commands related to it. So how and where all we can install our Linux OS? You can practice Linux operating system by installing Linux onto the virtual box like Oracle, VMware is also there. You can use cloud platform like AWS, cloud computing, Azure, AWS. Amazon is the provider of AWS. Google is the provider of cloud computing. Microsoft is the provider of Azure. What these people do, these people provide us shared hosting services servers. Means we can create our EC2 instance on their sites where we can configure or install or set up our server as per requirement. Even they provide the IPs that we need, the elastic IPs, those are needed, right? And from where we can launch our businesses digitally, or we can maintain the databases or whatever thing is required at the end user. Okay. Or else, the second option is we can rent the servers individual basis. If one company is there, they can rent their own server setups. Okay, where we people will be managing everything from our end. It might be related to the hardware, it might be related to the maintaining of the server, maintaining and monitoring of the servers. Okay, because server configuration is a very huge setup. Many of the organization prefer to rent it or to host it in shared hosting so that they can. So most probably the organization try to rent it, as we people will be hiring clients into which working organization these only clients are there. These are the heavy business persons, or they are running multiple websites on them. Okay, the into which they need to manage their database servers. Okay, depends upon the requirement of the client or the front end. This, it becomes heavier for them to maintain the hardwares of them, right? So what these all developments are done, where we are going to manage your servers and you people are going to access it at your ease from the end user and configure your server as per your requirement. Like many data centers are available worldwide. Even in India, multiple data centers are there. Those who are the server providers. Okay, next comes the online practicing on ballad.org. We have one site that is ballad.org where we can practice our commands onto the browser. There is no need of installation. Okay, if you want to test any of the commands, you can come here and test this onto your browser. In case if you have not installed, if you have any emergency, I should test this command, you can make a test onto it. But it is not secured because it is a shared platform globally. So most probably basic commands some people use on it to make some trial and errors, or the one who are the new learners, new beginners with the CLI mode. A new computer system with Linux OS means you can say that a new server with the Linux OS. This we are not going to do, because first we are going to learn the entire operating system, and once we are confident, we are going to install the entire hard disk with the Linux operating system. Okay, so this was the overview of the Linux operating system, as well as how secure it is and what will be our role, and how the clients or the business people prefer the Linux operating system at their end, and who all, like high-end organizations, use the Linux operating system. Banking sectors are into huge, they are for the huge demand of the Linux based servers. Okay, so do you have any doubt in this? You can just raise your hand. Yes, Prakash, you're allowed to talk. You are on mute. I have unmuted you. You are talking onto a mute, I think so. Prashant, not Prakash, sorry. Okay, Sohail, I have allowed you to talk.
Hey, Sanika. I just wanted to know, can you please explain the difference between what's an operating system and a kernel, and if we are learning Linux, and what is a Linux kernel, and what is the difference between them?
Kernel, see, what is kernel? Kernel is nothing but it is a software. Kernel is also one of the software which helps the hardware, whatever hardware setup we have done, and the operating system, means the Linux operating system that we have installed onto that server. Okay, it enables the communication in between the hardware and the high-end software, means the Linux operating system that we have installed. It enables the connectivity. How the updated kernel versions are there, the high-end robust performance will get with the Linux operating system, because it is the mediator to make a communication between the hardware and the operating system. And onto that operating system will be running multiple programs. And who manages this? The hardware and the kernel and the operating system to run the programs, or to run whatever we have configured onto the operating system, to run it smoothly. These all three goes hand in hand. And kernel, into a simple word, we can say that it is an interface between the hardware and the operating system. Okay, is that clear?
So the kernel is the interface between the hardware and the operating system, you said. So the
And
operating
the
system
operating
is the
system.
interface. What is an operating system then?
Operating system is an high. See. Don't get confused. I'll show you. Wait. Let me come to booting process. I will explain it to you today. So, what is the booting process? How does an Linux operating system boots up onto the newly or whatever, under how it boots up? Okay. First, there are many stages involved at the booting process. First is the BIOS. It's the same for Windows as well, or any it inputs the data to the bootloader. There are two bootloaders into. Am I audible to you all?
Yeah, we lost you for a bit in between, but now I can hear you.
Yeah. Today I'm facing some ISP issue, I think so. It is connected. Okay. Okay, I'll explain you. The Linux process step by step. Okay, how the Linux operating system boots up onto its hardware. Okay, whatever it is. First is the BIOS. It is same to every operating system. Okay, BIOS will load the bootloaders. The first is MBR. What is MBR? It is a master boot record, and then it loads the GRUB, that is Grand Unified Bootloader. Okay, where
Okay.
the kernel starts to run. What will this kernel do? This kernel will allow the hardware to know this system or to run this system onto it, run to operating system onto it. Once we move from grub, grub loads the kernel and kernel will load the operating system. Right? When kernel will load the operating system, we will be logged in to our operating system. We will get the access of our operating system where we are going to log in with our credentials. And there we'll get init. What is init? There are multiple run levels available into our Linux operating system. Okay. So init RD is initiated where we will get the interface for us, means who we are the user, and the
Yeah.
Linux operating system. It enables the interface in between us. And who is the interface in between the hardware and the operating system? He is the kernel.
Okay.
Right. These all goes hand in hand. See, every step is explained over there. Whenever you power on your system,
Okay.
BIOS system starts, MBR loads, it loads the
Mhm.
grub, okay, bootloader.
Okay.
Then it loads the Linux kernel. Kernel will load the Linux OS, okay, and init process, the
Okay.
run levels, onto which run level we people will be interacting, okay, and then the user prompt, that is the user commands, that is the terminal access where we are going to fire the commands to operate our operating system. Each and every elaboration is given. What is BIOS? What is its duty? Okay. Bootloader. Okay, I'll cover up this topic.
Sure.
Still we have a five more minutes. Okay.
I understood. Thank you.
Okay, no issues. That's great. You got cleared with this. Okay. I have kept this topic at the end. Why? Because
Oh.
once you are into the operating system now, you'll be having a sound knowledge of this OS. And that time
Okay.
it will be easier for you to understand how the OS boots up.
Got it.
Okay. So anyone of you needs that no first explained it as per your requirement, we can move on. No issues for that. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Sohel, right? Yes, Sohel.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Anyone has any more queries? They can. Prashant, are you there? Do you want to ask anything, or you can lower your hand today? Okay, no issues. So it sounds great that every one of you have got cleared with your concept that is being took or cleared today. That is the overview of the Linux operating system. Next comes the installation guide. So it's already 6:53. Okay. Okay, Prashant, that's great to hear a message from you. Okay, so tomorrow's topic of ours will be installation guide. Okay, what is this? What we are going to do tomorrow is we are going to install the virtual machine onto our host machine. Okay, those who all are using Windows, they are going to have their own exe file, and those who are using Mac, they can download their own extension, that is MSI extension. Okay, so on that we are going to configure our guest operating system, that is the Linux operating system. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be having practical sessions on this. We are going to prepare our operating system, okay, that is the host machine, onto the VM as well as onto the cloud platform, that is Amazon Web Services. It's already 6:55, so what time? taking this session by tomorrow. Okay, we are going to see WinSCP, we are going to see Putty, how Putty helps us to get connected to from us to access the server remotely. Okay, and the usage of the Puttition, how important it is, that all we are going to see it tomorrow. Okay, then after we'll be moving with the basics of the command. So yes. So those who all are new attendees today, just go through the day one session. One more time, I'm sharing you this. Okay. I'm sharing multiple links with you all. Okay. So that you can get clear with your doubts. You can also get connected, get in touch with us onto the contact number that is being provided, or also you can email us onto support@Logic Labs Technologies. So I'm here for more 2 to 3 minutes. If you have any queries, you can have an interaction with me, or those who are interested to introduce themselves, they can give their own introductions by raising their hands, which will make us to keep an interaction with each other. We can get to know each other, and how the knowledge can be shared. We can have an interaction onto that as well. Yes, you're allowed to talk, Lewis. I have unmuted you.
All right, so I'm on the East Coast, and this is the first of many courses I'll probably be taking on this platform. I'm currently working, but I want to switch roles, and that's why I need to reskill and get other skills in the cloud, Linux, and DevOps space.
Yes, those who want to learn DevOps, Linux operating system is must and should that you people know. Linux operating system means the commands you should know related to it. Right, Lewis?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So we are most probably focusing 100%. We are uh, focusing on the command line oriented only. Each and every command you will come to know at the end of this batch. Okay. And even the PDFs are included with entirely with the commands only. Yes. So if you have any doubts at the time of your practicing sessions, you can keep an email to us where we can resolve your queries even after the end of the batch as well. Not only to into the batch duration, even once you complete your course, after that also we can be in touch with the email addresses. Yes, thank you, Lewis. Okay, then. So that's great that every one of you have got clear and have no more doubts. So I would like to wind up with today's session. It is already 7 a.m. and tomorrow is Friday. So we'll be having day 3 session tomorrow. Okay. So those who all have missed day 1 session, go to the recording links that I have provided you onto the chat box. Okay. And so that you will get clear with the things in it. And you can continue with the batch from day 3 without any queries in your mind. Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sohel. Okay, then have a great day ahead. I'm winding up with my session today. Yes, thank you. Bye bye to everyone.